guys, so in this video I'm just going to show you quickly what you can and you can't do using the NCL app. So once you're on board, can you book stuff? Is it any good? And I'm just going to warn you, you do have to pay for one of the features. So download the app before you get on board and then just log in with all your normal details, your booking reference, all those kind of things, and you will get onto here. So at the top, just run you through a quick little things. So it gives you the ship's time. So if you haven't changed the time on your phone, it will tell you the right time. And then it just gives you a brief little rundown what cruise you're on. And then you've got all the features there below. So the shore excursions feature, you can book some shore excursions. Now, I will just warn you, if you've never cruised before, they are very expensive through your company. We've always booked externally, but some people like it for the safety. So you've got the option there. If you know you want to do something, you haven't got to go down to the shore excursions desk. You could just book it straight on the app. Now, entertainment wise, it does get a little bit complicated. If you watched our Embarkation video for the NCL Premier, we did explain how it was different than what we were told. So it says once you're on the app for the entertainment, like the Donna Summer show, it'll say it's sold out, but it's not. You don't need a reservation. So just bear that in mind. Don't think like, oh, it's already all sold out, I can't book anything. You don't need a reservation for most things. The only thing we needed a reservation for was the Price is Right, but we booked that before we got on the ship. So there's another little tip for you there. Book anything you can show-wise before you get on, because especially for us on our cruise, it all got, reserved very quickly. So the dining section on the app, unless you're booking specialty restaurants, it's pretty pointless. Now, on our cruise, it was freedom dining, so we didn't have to book any of the main dining rooms and the other locations, but you could book the main dining room before you boarded the ship online. We did a couple nights on the for the main dining room restaurant. We booked pre-hand because we knew we wanted to dine in there on those nights so we could kind of film for videos. But otherwise, you don't have to. So just bear that in mind. You could before, but you can't once on board. All it does really for the main dining room and say the local bar and grill, which was on the board the Premier, it basically just tells you where they are and shows you the menu. That's basically it. Whereas you could book specialty restaurants for a day and time on the app. So bear that in mind. Then the bars and lounges section, which is going to be the same for a few of these. It literally just tells you where the bar is and that's it. It doesn't give you an individual menu for that bar. It doesn't tell you if like in the Belvedere, I think it was a Belvedere where they had entertainment on, it didn't tell you if there was any of that going on. So it's literally just where each bar is. Now the spa section does show you what treatments are available, all the massages and like the barbers and stuff like that, but doesn't tell you any prices, and you once again cannot book any of the treatments in the app. It just tells you to ring the spa to make reservations. So you wish it told you the price, so it wasn't kind of a shock when you rang up, and you could be like, if you were on a budget or anything like that, you can work out, I could stretch that maybe. It'd just be handy if it showed you the price for some of these things. Now the virtual queue is a little bit pointless. You can't use it for restaurants, which beforehand we thought you could. We thought you'd be able to jump in the virtual queue for a main dining room and then get a notification when it's time to go down for your table. You can't do that. All it's for is to join the virtual queue for the Price is Right. So if anybody who didn't pre-book the Price is Right before they got on board and wanted to watch it, you could join the virtual queue on the day. So the virtual queue area could be used for so many more things. It could be used for, like, say, maybe the restaurants, maybe the go-karts if that's busy, or stuff like that that isn't utilized enough in the app. Then the onboard activities section, it shows you what there is, where it is, and it actually tells you a price for some things. So it actually showed you, as you can see there, that the go-karts were $15. Now, you would normally pay for golf and the darts area, but whilst we were on board, they were closed. So that's why there isn't a price there. So if you're watching this and you think, in a minute, why am I seeing a price now when I'm on board? That's why, it's because it was closed whilst we were on board. But these activities cannot be booked on the app. So you have to go to the location. So you have to go to the go-kart. You have to go to the Galaxy Pavilion. So, you know, you could book, you should be able to book a time. It is frustrating. But then again, like the spa section where it didn't give you a price, it gives you a price for some of the onboard activities. So it could tell you the spa prices, they just aren't putting it on there. So the what's happening selection just gives you a select hour by hour of what's happening on the ship. It's not everything, it's just like kind of highlighted things. So if they had a quiz on somewhere or a movie on in a location, it's just selected hour by hour highlights of your daily activity sheet. And then the internet page, now don't be scared by the price, okay? It is a bit frightening, the price of the internet on board. Now, you had two options. You could either pay by minutes. So if you thought, I don't want to sit on my phone for the entire cruise, so paying for like the unlimited Wi-Fi is going to be pretty pointless, but you just wanted to say 150 minutes, send a message to somebody, you know, quick FaceTime to your kids or something like that. So you've got two options, which it can be handy because, like I say, we don't personally pay for any internet. It's a nice break for us whilst on board the ship. But if you, like say, want to keep an eye on the news or something like that, then you could pay for minutes, which was handy. But the unlimited, as you can see there, is very, very pricey. Then the photography section. So as you can see, you have to log in. Now, we didn't have any onboard photos taken. We don't bother with those. But if you did and you want to see them, saves going down to the photo area. Because, you know, I don't know if they're on the commission, but they always seem a little bit, do you need any help? Oh, do you want that? If you get this, you get better price and stuff like that. So it can be nice to just sit there in the comfort of your own cabin or in a bar and just have a look at your photos and think, yeah, like that one, don't like that one. It is nice to see them on the app. Then the onboard shopping, same as many of these things, basically just tells you where the shops are. That's it. Nothing more to say, really. Then the cruise next section is a handy little section. It doesn't show you what cruises and prices, but how NCL were doing it, whether this is how they always do it, we're not sure because this was our first NCL cruise, was they showed you if you put so much deposit down, you got so much onboard credit for there and then on that cruise. So I know they were doing, if you brought $1,000, so 4 $250 deposits, I think they were giving you $500 onboard spends for the cruise you were on at the time. So if you know you're going to do more cruises with NCL, I think you got 4 years. Don't take that as the truth, but I remember somebody saying you get 4 years to book a cruise with that deposit. So you got a long time, and if you knew you were going to do it, it was a good option because, like say, you got $500 on board spends back, so you could kind of go nuts in the gift shop, really. So we're moving along to the top now, the message symbol. Okay, this is what I was speaking to you about at the start. It costs $9.95 per person for the length of your cruise to send and receive messages and phone calls on the app to other people on the cruise. So that to me is very overpriced. Basically $10 each. So it would cost me and Stacey $20 to just send each other a message. Where are you? I'm in the buffet or something like that. You shouldn't have to pay to just send a message. I've never seen that personally on any other cruises we've been on. Is that normal with other companies? Let me know in the comments because that seems very pricey. Now we did receive a few messages off NCL. We didn't have to pay for those per message or anything. We didn't get a charge. We got messages, we got like 30 of the same one when we got out one of our cruise ports cancelled. So don't worry, if you do receive a message off them, you won't get charged for that. And then the next one along the top, the little piece of paper looking thing with a little ship and some lines on, is your Freestyle Daily. So basically the paper copy, what gets left in your cabin, we hate carrying that around. So you can just go on the app and see basically the online version of it. It's the same. It's just personally a handy thing, but you still get a paper copy left for you. On our cruise, we constantly got left the Spanish version. So it's a good job we had the online version as well. And then next one along is the My Plans page. So this gives you a day-by-day kind of calendar and shows you a little yellow tab if you have anything booked on board for that day, whether that's shore excursion or it could be you've got a dining reservation. So at least you can think, did I make a reservation for that restaurant? And you can have a look, and you can. It just helps you plan your days out a little bit better whilst you're on board. Saves you a bit of time. You do have what they call the deck map, so it's a deck by deck map on the app, so you can see where stuff is basically. Now, we couldn't use it properly because I was constantly stuck on deck 8 because the bar at the top covered up the little arrow for the drop down for you to pick the decks. So, has that happened for anybody else, or was that just us on our Samsungs? Does it work properly if you've got an iPhone or another make? And then lastly, you've got your account review, which just shows you day by day what you spent and where you spent it, and that's basically it. So if you've got any queries, you can look at it and you can just head down and sort it out. You haven't got to keep going down and be like, excuse me, can I see how much I've spent or anything like that? So it's just a handy little thing. So that's it for the app. One thing to just let you know is, if you're not tech savvy, you don't have a smartphone or a tablet, don't worry, there are screens dotted all about where you can just tap your little cruise card and you can book and see all those things on the screen. So don't worry thinking, oh, I'm going to have to buy a phone, I don't know how to use these apps and stuff. So you will be fine. Just go to one of the big screens and it's the exact same thing. Or just go down to, say, guest services or any of these locations if you want to book, say, a spa package, because you can't book it on the app anyway, so you've got to go down there. So just head down there and they'll always sort you out because the staff, the crew are so helpful on these ships. Yeah, but that's it. So it's just a quick little video to show you what you can expect once you're on board, and like we say, just warned you about that cost, the $9.95 each to send each other a message basically. But yeah, hopefully that helps you just prepare for your next cruise with NCL or your first cruise with NCL just a little bit better. So hopefully it saves you a little bit of time once you're on board. But we've done loads of Prima videos, so if you're going on the Prima or maybe you're looking at the Viva and you want to see, because it's a sister ship, what it's roughly like, all those videos will be in the playlist in the description. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.